Today is Wednesday, April 16th, 2025. And I just wanted to say I spent the day at the hospital today. I was sick. I had a severe panic attack. Let me tell you. It is very important that if you are on medication for a terrible anxiety or bipolar disorder or depression or panic attacks or whatever it is that you suffer from, it's important that you don't miss out on your medication in any way, shape, or form, because otherwise you will wind up having to land yourself inside of an emergency room, having to leave work early because you can barely stand up straight. It was really bad. I feel really upset because I haven't left work early like that and God knows how long. And then, of course, by the time I get home and I get myself situated, I still haven't fully recovered because the physical aspects of things have caught up with me and are now deep into the emotional. So, have you ever been that person who you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna listen to music when I get home because I've had a bad day or whatever, just got out of the damn doctor's hospital, been there all day. So you want to put on some music and you want to kind of like chill out and relax or whatever. Yeah. So, let me tell you something about that, okay? Because sometimes music is not always the best. It's really not. It's really not. Sometimes the only thing it does to you is just remind you of what it is that you aren't or what it is that you can't do. And if you're like me, you understand that quite well. Especially when I see these weird dance videos, I'm like, mm-mm. Or if I see certain celebrities doing certain things, I'm like, It just kind of gets you feeling. And then you start thinking to yourself, if you're anything like me, you start thinking to yourself, like, what the hell am I doing with my life? Why am I sitting here watching these videos? Why am I so sucked up into a reality that doesn't exist? I don't know. I feel really horrible right now. This video is probably not going anywhere. It's not going to be posted. If it is, then congratulations. You're lucky that I even posted this to begin with. I just feel really sad right now because, I do things because I try to look for an outlet to fulfill the gaps and spaces of my own life of things that I don't have or things that I can't do. And sometimes some of these things are essential to life and sometimes they're not, these things. Sometimes, you might wish that you could do something that you can't do, that you can't do, and then another person will wish that they can do something that you could do. And that they can't do. Like, for example, when I was at work, my coworker said to me that I'm probably the smartest one in the whole store. Hands down, she said that. She said, you're probably the smartest person in this entire place. She said, how many master's degrees do you have? I said 2. She said, and what other education do you have? I said, an Associate's of Arts in Psychology, a Bachelor of Science in Psychology, the Master of Science in Psychology, and a Master of Science in Leadership Development. And then I have 3 years out of a 5-year accelerated doctoral program to earn my PhD. Yeah. And yet here I am, that same person who was applied to many different jobs, who was told multiple times, you have to have experience in order to get experience. Yeah. So when I think about the things that I have versus the things that I want, now you kind of have an idea of where I'm going with that. So it's not just about stupid dance moves or going back in time or anything like that. It's not about that. A lot of times it's really not. When it boils down to it, it boils down to what it is, as far as understanding that who I am is not defined by what it is that I do. And that's the same for you too. Because who you are and what you do are two different things. What you are doing today may actually change tomorrow. Everything that you have today could be gone tomorrow. Think about it. Everything you have. Your family, your friends, your house, your loved ones, your job, whatever it is your job is. No matter how much money you make. You could be, I don't know, a pop star. You could be a lawyer. You can be a doctor. Whatever. Whatever it is that you're doing right now. Everything about it could disappear. Just like that. So it is important to understand and think about what it is that you value most in your life. Because when it all comes down to it, who is left? Who's left? Do you think that those people who are your friends will actually stay around when you've lost everything? What about when your face ages? What about when your body changes? What about if you broke a leg? What would you do? Who would be there for you? Think about it. Who would be there for you? And if you are like a lot of people and you have trouble answering that question, then I think that you need to think about what it is that you're doing with your life. And learn how to put value in things that actually matter. And don't put value into things that don't matter. Because when all is said and done and those things are gone, what do you have for yourself? You know, it has been said that money can't buy happiness. And I believe it to be true. Money can buy you things that may make you happy. But it can't actually buy something that you create for yourself. Happiness is not something that somebody can just put on a silver platter and give it to you. You can have all the money in the world and you can still be depressed as shit. It's true. Just look at all the stupid shit going on with Hollywood. And they call it Hollywood, but you know what I mean. Including the music industry. But anyway, my case is when you're someone like me and you forget to do something simple such as taking your medication when you're supposed to because you couldn't afford to buy it, so it made you very sick for about 3 days. Today's day 3. Think about what it is that you do have and try and focus on that. That might be a very deep message even to myself right now, because I certainly do feel like I am going through a lot of the symptoms of not having taken my medication, my mood medicine, And it's really affecting me right now. It really is. And unfortunately, I'm not the only person that has this problem, and I'm not the only person that this happens to when you experience difficulties because you don't take something that you're supposed to be taking, or you become a witness to the things that you wish that you had that you don't have. And you sometimes forget that there's somebody out there that wishes that they had what you have. And it's like this weird vicious circle that we all go through. It's about having some form of self-confidence for yourself, but also remembering that despite all of those things, self-confidence and all that, all these things that you do own and have could go away. Your friends, your family. You can lose your loved one tomorrow, or you can lose them within several minutes from now. So you have to ask yourself, what really buys your happiness? What really makes you happy? Is it, I don't know, the fancy Mustang that I have in my driveway? Is it somebody's, if somebody were having to have the ability to do all this like crazy ass dance moves or contortionists and all this stuff, is that really what makes them happy? Because sometimes you have to take a moment to realize that who you are is different than what it is that you do. Because what you do can change day by day. And that's the same for me. Just because I am a receptionist does not mean that that is exactly who I am as a person. I know that I'm worthy of a lot more than monetary things. I am someone who cannot be bought. I'm worth more than money. And you know what? You are too. Don't let anybody ever tell you that you're not. Because, like I said, everything that you have could just disappear in an instant. And then what do you have left? You. You are not replaceable. No one can replace you. Even if you think that they can, just pop another person into that job or that position or whatever it is that you do, it will never be the same. So, take a deep breath for yourself as I take a deep breath for myself. And I'm enjoying myself on the swing. And I'm going to go inside and enjoy the rest of my day. And I hope that you enjoy the rest of yours. Take care of yourself and remember what I said in this message. Because you are valuable more than what money can buy. Don't ever forget that. Okay? And take your damn medicine. You take care of yourself and each other, as Jerry Springer would say. Bye.